What if no one ever shows up to save you? What if the help you've been waiting for never comes? It's a terrifying thought, isn't it? Because deep down we all hope someone sees our struggle, that someone will step in and lift the weight off our shoulders. We're raised to believe that if we just keep being patient, if we keep suffering quietly, one day the world will reward us. But that day never comes, not the way we imagined. And that realization, that shattering moment of clarity, it breaks something inside you. But maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe that's the beginning of something stronger. The truth is, nobody cares. Not really, not consistently. People have their own problems, their own pain. They might sympathize for a moment, but they move on. They forget. Life keeps moving and you're still stuck, screaming in silence, hoping someone notices. But here's what changes everything. When you stop waiting for someone to care, when you stop relying on pity and you start relying on power, because the second you accept that no one is coming, you stop being a victim and start becoming a force. It hurts to hear, but it's the truth that frees you. You don't need anyone's permission to change your life. You don't need to be rescued. What you need is to get brutally honest with yourself. No more excuses, no more blaming. The world doesn't reward good intentions, it rewards results. And results come from work, real, relentless, unapologetic work, the kind that doesn't wait for motivation, the kind that shows up even when no one claps for you, the kind that builds in silence and speaks volumes when you walk into a room. So yes, nobody cares. And that's your advantage. That means you don't have to please anyone. You don't have to wait for approval. You get to move in silence, build in darkness, and emerge with something undeniable. You get to write your own story, one that doesn't beg for sympathy but commands respect. And every time you feel like giving up, remember this: they're not watching. They're not waiting to see you win, which means you have to win for you, not for likes, not for recognition, but because you made a promise to yourself that you won't stay down. And here's why you need to keep watching, because this is just the beginning. The moment you accept that nobody cares, you also unlock the secret that changes everything. You realize that it's not the world's job to believe in you, it's yours. And when you do, when you show up for yourself day after day, everything changes. You stop chasing validation and start creating transformation. You stop being invisible and start becoming unstoppable. So stay with this, because what comes next will shake the limits off your life. But it starts right here with this truth: nobody cares, so work hard. And let your results scream louder than your pain. Pain is not your punishment, it's your permission. It's the signal that something inside you needs to break so something stronger can be built. Most people spend their entire lives running from discomfort. They numb it with distractions, silence it with excuses, or hide it under fake smiles. But those who rise, the ones who truly change, they face their pain. They step into it, stand still in it, and ask what it came to teach. Because pain, when you stop fearing it, becomes your most powerful teacher. If you're hurting, you're alive. If it stings, it matters. And that matters more than anything, because pain shows you exactly where you've been settling. It shines a light on the gap between where you are and where you know you could be. It forces you to confront the truth that your potential is being smothered by comfort, by avoidance, by softness. Pain is the crack in the illusion. It's the whisper saying, wake up, this is not who you're meant to be. And if you have the courage to listen to that voice instead of silencing it, everything begins to shift. You don't grow in ease, you grow in resistance. Growth never happens in soft beds or quiet days. It happens in the sleepless nights, in the aching muscles, in the tears no one sees. If it feels heavy, that means you're getting stronger. If it feels scary, that means you're getting closer. The very things that feel like obstacles are actually the doorway to your next level. But the key is this: stop asking why it hurts and start asking what it's building. That shift in mindset will change your life, because pain isn't the enemy, it's the path. The hardest days are not meant to defeat you. They're designed to refine you. Every setback is sculpting something inside you that comfort never could. Your discipline, your will, your grit. They don't come from success. They're born in the trenches. And when you learn to lean into discomfort, when you stop fearing failure and start using it as fuel, you become dangerous. You become unstoppable. because you realize you don't need the world to be easy. You just need to be unbreakable. So if you're hurting right now, don't run from it. Don't curse it. Let it shape you. Let it harden your focus, sharpen your purpose, ignite your discipline. Let it remind you that you're not done, not even close. This is not your ending, it's your evolution. Your pain is proof you're in motion, and motion means progress. It means fight. It means growth. This is where power is born, not in applause, not in praise, but in pressure. Welcome it. Embrace it. Because the more it hurts, the more real this transformation is. Let the pain speak. Let it push you. Let it become the reason you rise. Discipline is what separates the ones who dream from the ones who do. It's the quiet force behind every breakthrough. The truth is, motivation is a liar. It shows up when it wants, disappears when you need it most, and leaves you stranded in the moments that matter. But discipline is different. Discipline stays. It doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't ask for comfort. It shows up every single day and demands more from you than you think you have. And that's exactly why it works. Because it doesn't wait for inspiration, it builds it. If you only act when you feel good, you will stay stuck. If you only move when you're excited, you'll live your whole life starting and stopping, never finishing anything. But the ones who win are not the ones who feel like it. They're the ones who decide to do it anyway, even when they're tired, even when it hurts, even when no one sees. They show up not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. They understand that progress lives in repetition, power lives in consistency, and greatness is born from relentless action, not fleeting emotion. Discipline is the skill of doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't want to. It's not glamorous, it's not exciting, it's not meant to be. It's early mornings, it's late nights, it's doing the same thing again and again and again until it finally works. It's boring, it's brutal, but it's what builds you. It rewires your mind. It teaches you how to move without negotiation. Because when you stop giving yourself a way out, you finally give yourself a way forward. You don't need more motivation, you need more follow-through. You need the kind of discipline that turns habits into non-negotiables. You wake up and you do it, not because it feels good, but because you said you would. That integrity to self, keeping promises to yourself, that's where real confidence begins. That's how self-worth is built. Every day you choose discipline over distraction, you build a life that's harder to break. You become stronger, sharper, quieter, focused, and eventually unstoppable. The difference between average and exceptional is never talent. It's how long someone is willing to be consistent after everyone else has quit. The ones who keep showing up day after day, even when no one's clapping, even when progress feels invisible, those are the ones who rise. Because every small action compounds, every boring choice builds muscle, and every disciplined day carves the future you keep saying you want. This is the part no one celebrates, no one sees, no one claps for, but this is the part that makes you. Let others chase quick fixes. Let others wait for motivation. You choose discipline. You choose to rise even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because in the end, results don't come from how you felt. They come from what you did, over and over again, until it became impossible to ignore. No one is coming to do it for you. No one is waking up at your rock bottom and deciding to fix your life. It's you. It has always been you, and the moment you stop waiting for someone to understand, someone to save, someone to push you, you finally begin. You begin to reclaim the power you gave away. You begin to stand where you used to collapse. You begin to carry yourself forward, step by painful step, fueled not by support from the outside, but by a fire that lives inside. A fire that's been waiting for your permission to burn. You have everything you need. The pain you've endured, the silence you've survived, the doubts you've faced, they were never meant to break you. They were building blocks. The weight you carry is not meant to crush you. It's meant to forge you. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are symbols of survival. You've come too far to keep playing small. You've suffered enough to earn your strength. Now use it. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're just beginning to see what you're truly made of. Stop outsourcing your value. Stop waiting for people to recognize your worth. You don't need a crowd to believe in you. You need to believe in you. Show up for yourself the way you've always wished someone else would. Be your own backup. Be your own motivation. Be your own answer. When you get tired of begging the world to notice you, that's when you start building something it can't ignore. The real shift happens the moment you realize no one owes you a thing. Not encouragement, not comfort, not clarity. You have to create those things for yourself every day without apology. You are more capable than you've been told, but capabilities mean nothing without courage. You've got to take that first uncomfortable step. You've got to break the pattern of hesitation. Stop analyzing and start acting. Stop preparing and start moving. No more waiting until you feel ready. No more postponing your power. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. It just has to be yours. Because nothing changes until you take control of what you can do with what you have right now. This is how you become unstoppable, not when everything gets easier, but when you get harder to shake. Stronger in the silence, bolder in the face of fear, more dangerous the less they expect from you. You become your own source of strength, your own proof, your own reason. The world might not notice it at first, but you will feel it. That shift inside you, that refusal to be ordinary, that unshakable belief that no matter who doubts you, no matter who leaves, no matter who laughs, you're going to rise anyway. Not because they care, but because you do. They said you couldn't do it. They said you didn't have what it takes. They judged your silence, mocked your dreams, and wrote you off before you even began. That's fine. Let them. Because your power was never meant to be understood. It was meant to be proven. And the best part is, you don't need to fight them. You don't need to argue, explain, or beg them to see. All you need to do is show them with action. Quiet, focused, unstoppable action. Not for them, for you. To remind yourself that you are not who they said you were. You are who you decide to become. Every time they doubted you, they gave you fuel. Every time they ignored you, they gave you space to build. Every time they counted you out, they made the mistake of underestimating your drive. Let them stay comfortable in their opinions. Let them believe they've already figured you out. That's your advantage. Because while they're watching, you're working. While they're talking, you're growing. And while they're laughing, you're preparing. And one day, without warning, you'll show up as everything they never expected, and more than they ever thought possible. But don't do it for revenge. Do it for evolution. Revenge fades. Growth lasts. When you shift your focus from proving them wrong to proving yourself right, everything changes. It's not about making them regret their words. It's about making yourself proud. Because at the end of it all, the applause won't matter. The opinions won't matter. The doubts, the criticism, the judgment, it all fades. What remains is the work you did when no one was looking. The hours you put in when no one cared. The discipline you built when you could have quit. That's the part of you no one can take. That's what makes you untouchable. You don't owe the world a performance. You owe yourself a legacy. And that legacy is written in the moments when you could have broken but didn't, when you could have backed down but rose up, when you were afraid, exhausted, uncertain, but still chose to rise. That's where greatness is born. Not in loud victories, but in silent resilience. Not in validation from others, but in the quiet confidence that comes from earning your own respect. This is your moment to decide. Are you going to let their voices define you, or are you going to become so disciplined, so committed, so relentless, that their voices fade into the background noise of your greatness? You've come too far to prove anything to anyone else. The only thing left is to prove that you can finish what you started, that you can rise without praise, that you can succeed without permission. You don't need them to believe in you. You need you to never stop. Keep showing up, keep pushing, keep becoming, not because they care, but because you were always meant to. This is the moment where most people stop. Right here, when it gets hard, when it gets quiet, when the excitement fades and all that's left is the work. This is where people walk away and tell themselves it wasn't meant to be. But not you. You're not here for comfort. You're not here for easy. You're here to build something that lasts, something that lives beyond the noise, beyond the opinions, beyond the doubt. And you know deep down it won't come through shortcuts. It won't come through luck. It will come through effort. Relentless, focused, disciplined effort that refuses to die. You don't need more time. You need more intensity. You need to stop dipping your toe in and start diving in all the way, with full commitment, with full conviction. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. You make the moment perfect by choosing to show up fully in it. Even when you're tired, even when you're scared, even when you've failed before, especially then, because that's when it counts the most. That's when most people fold, and that's when you separate yourself. You weren't built for average. You weren't designed to quit. You were made to rise. It doesn't matter who's ahead of you. It doesn't matter how long it's taken. It doesn't matter what you don't have. What matters is what you do with what's in your hands right now. Your energy, your attention, your discipline, that's your edge, that's your weapon. And if you sharpen it daily, without excuses, without distractions, there will come a day when the results speak so loudly, no one can ignore them. You won't need to prove yourself. Your consistency will do it for you. Forget how you feel. Show up anyway. Stop overthinking. Execute. Stop second-guessing. Move. Stop comparing. Focus. You've given too much of your power away to things that don't serve you. It's time to take it back. Piece by piece, action by action. Every decision you make is either pulling you closer or pushing you further from the life you say you want. There is no neutral. So choose like it matters. Choose like your future depends on it, because it does. You've been given a gift, and that gift is responsibility. Responsibility to become all that you were created to be. Responsibility to take your pain and turn it into purpose. Responsibility to wake up every day and give your best, even when your best feels small. Because that version of you, the one who keeps going regardless, is the one that becomes unstoppable. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. No more excuses, no more waiting, no more hoping someone else will believe first. You're the spark, you're the proof, you're the reason, and the life you want, it's waiting on the other side of everything you've been avoiding. Go take it, not because the world is watching, but because you finally are